All right, recording is on. Sudhamsh, you may take.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Sudhamsh, your surgeon at arms for today. Welcome to today's meeting of Amrita Toastmasters Club. We are here to learn, grow, and have fun while improving our communication skills. Before we begin, please silence your phones and let's set the tone for a productive session. Remember to follow our club's guidelines, no discussions on sensitive topics, and let's keep it professional. To ensure a smooth meeting, please refrain from interrupting speakers and avoid side conversations. Speakers, kindly keep an eye on the time. We'll have voting and feedback forms at the end. Your input is really valuable. Now it's my pleasure to hand over our meeting to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Rishita. Let's make this meeting engaging and enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you, Sadhanakam Toastmaster Sudhamsh, for setting the tone of the meeting. And welcome everyone to meeting 347. Just a couple more meetings until we hit our milestone meeting, that is 350. Lovely seeing you all on a very rainy Thursday evening. Why did I say Sunday? And yes, so today we've pretty much got a very theme. I'm very excited to see what the Table Topics Master has in store for us. We also have two lovely prepared speakers all set to dazzle us today. So I think without any further ado, we can jump right into it. But before we begin, we do have a couple of guests with us, and I think they're very familiar faces by this point. So maybe we'll just have them quickly tell us what are you doing. I hope this is monsoon season for you as well. So let's start with what are you doing on this possibly cloudy, rainy season?
Good evening. My name is Advait. I'm a computer science student currently in fifth semester. Monsoon season, it's all about sipping that tea every day, every morning, every evening. So that's what I'm doing, sipping those tea moments.
All right, glad you're joining us amidst your tea sipping because I do not like tea, but I do enjoy having you here. So thank you for joining us. And we also have with us guest Abhinav. Same question to you as well. What are you possibly doing on this cloudy slash monsoon season?
Well, myself, Abhinav, and now it's my second meeting in this club. If you guys don't know, like in the first meeting, I was like extremely nervous. As a matter of fact, I was so nervous that I only spoke for around like 21 seconds, if I do remember. So let's just hope that I get to talk like a lot more in this meeting and not much actually in this evening.
All right. Thank you for joining us, guest Abhinav. Do not worry. I'm sure our table topics master has something in store for you as well. All right. And now that we have all our guests introduced, I think we can officially start meeting 347. I now pass over control to our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Aarti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As your gender evaluator, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting. I'll see what are the good parts of the meeting and what are the parts where we could improve. And by the end of the meeting, I will present my report on the good parts and the improvement parts as well. And as it's a very kind of daunting task, I can't do it alone. So I have a tag team with me who will be helping me throughout this evaluation. So first, I'll call upon our timer for the day, Toastmaster Rishi, to brief on his role and the timing criteria.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Rishi and I'll be the timer for the day. The role of the timer is to time every single speech that is being spoken in the meeting, which includes the prepared speeches, the table topic speeches, and the individual evaluations. For the prepared speeches, I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. Wait, this is the yellow card. I'll be showing this at 6 minutes, and I'll be showing the red card at 7 minutes. For the individual evaluations, I'll be showing the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and the red card at 3 minutes. And for the table topic session, I'll be showing the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. And there will be a 30-second buffer time for all the speeches. Make sure that you limit your speeches before the time limit, or else you'll be disqualified. And best of luck to all the speakers and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishi, for briefing your role. Now I call upon our counter for the day, Toastmaster Sudhamsh, to brief on his role.
Good evening, everyone, Toastmasters and guests. I'm your counter for today. Think of me as your personal guide or language detective who detects all your ahs, so, and your repetitions too. Now, I must warn you, I take this job very seriously because I've been waiting for this. So seriously, in fact, that every filler word I hear adds one imaginary burpee to your daily account. But don't worry, this isn't about embarrassment, it's about awareness. My goal is to help you become a more polished speaker, powerful speaker. And yes, we are going to have too much fun doing it, and I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. So speak up, stay sharp, and may all the ums be ever out of your speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Aarti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhamsh, for briefly explaining your role. Now I would like to call upon our first-time grammarian, Toastmaster Ishita, to explain her role in the word of the day.
Yes, as the general evaluator has already said, I am a very first time grammarian. So, hello everyone, I'm Toastmaster Ishita and I will be your grammarian for the day. So, we have a language detector, but I will be your language lifeguard basically. The role of a grammarian is pretty simple. I will be keeping an eye out for good grammar and language usages, as well as any grammatical mistakes that you guys might make during your speeches today. And additionally, I will also be on the lookout for the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day will be incredulous, which means not wanting or not able to believe something. Some example sentences with the word of the day could be he was incredulous upon hearing the news, or the vice president education always says such incredulous things. So, if you use the word of the day in a sentence, you might be liable to get a special point. But that is only if you use the word of the day. All right. I will be dropping the word of the day in the chat box. So do have a look at it. And yes, I hope to see you all use the word of the day. Back to the general evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita, and thank you, Tati, for introducing your roles. Now we'll jump right into the meeting. And today's meeting is basically two prepared speeches, table topics, and then the evaluations. So for the prepared speech segment, we have two prepared speakers for today, Toastmaster Ishita Prabhudesai and Toastmaster Kalyani. So first speaker for today is Toastmaster Ishita, and she's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Aditya. So I call upon Toastmaster Aditya to brief on Toastmaster Ishita's project objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arati. Am I audible to everyone? Any signs you can give me would be helpful. All right. So, good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Aditya, and I will be evaluating Toastmaster Ishita's L1P4. So, in Toastmasters, we have something called pathways, which is something every Toastmaster goes through. It is the way you develop your style of speaking. And the first level, L1, is common for all of us. This is the last part of L1, her project 4. And in this, Toastmaster Ishita has three separate things to do. One that she has already performed, being an evaluator for someone else. And the other two parts are first to give a speech, receive feedback from the evaluator, and then improve upon said speech using that evaluation. So this is the first speech she will be giving. So I wish Toastmaster Ishita all the very best. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya, for briefing on Toastmaster Ishita's project objectives. Now let's start with Toastmaster Ishita's speech. Toastmaster Ishita, find your why, Toastmaster Ishita.
Yeah. You've been asked all your life, what do you want to be? But nobody asks why you want to be it. That's why so many people climb the ladder only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you ever woken up, hit snooze a few times, dragged yourself out of the bed, and thought, what's the point of all this? Be honest. Raise your hand if that's happened to you. Yes, it happens to all of us, right? We work hard, check things off our to do list, meet expectations, But there's something missing, and that something is purpose. And according to Simon Sinek, purpose begins when we find our why. Simon Sinek says people and organization operate on three levels: what we do, our job title or role, how we do it, the way we go about our work, and the most powerful, why we do it, our reason, our belief, our cause. Most people start with what? I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer. But the most inspiring people, they start with why. Let me give you an example. Apple doesn't sell phones. It sells rebellion in pocket form. That is why you and me pay extra for the same technology. They don't say we make computers. They say we believe in thinking differently. And that belief is what connects with people. Your why is the emotional reason why people believe in you and why you believe in yourself. Why is the open bar of motivation which makes people want to stay at your party. Without a why, life is like, assembling IKEA furniture, that too without instructions. Frustrating and extremely sweatish. Okay, so let's take a pause here. Just think for a moment. Why do you do what you do every day? Is it just a mere routine or does it align with you something deeper inside? Researchers show that people with a clear purpose are not only just more successful, they are happier, they are healthier, and they live longer. In fact, a study from psychological science proves that people with clear purpose, they have a 15% lower chance of dying early. I know you guys might find it strange, but that's not motivation, that's science. And purpose isn't world changing dreams or some big missions. It can be a very simple thing, as simple as I want to set an example for my younger sibling. I want to help others feel heard. I want to challenge myself to grow. So let me tell you a quick story. When I first joined Toastmasters, I was very nervous. Even introducing myself felt scary. My what was simple, improving public speaking. My how was practice speeches, attend meetings, and get feedback. But after a few meetings, something changed. I realized I wasn't here just to speak better. I was here because I believed that everyone has a voice and that voice matters. My why was to encourage people to speak up, stand up, and shine. And you know what made that shift possible? All the lovely people in this room. All the fellow members of Toastmaster Club welcomed me, supported me, and made me feel at home. With all the love and support, speaking didn't feel scary. It just felt right. So, how do you find your why? Sinek says it comes from looking back at moments what made you feel most proud or fulfilled. From your strengths, what do people always thank you for? From your impact, how do you want to change lives? Here's a small exercise. Try to finish the sentence. I believe the world should dot 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 dot. Your answer is glued to your why. So this week, just do one thing. Notice when you feel that little heck yes spark. Maybe it's helping a co-worker in arranging your drawer or arguing about pizza toppings. That's your why whispering. Follow it. And if anyone asks you why are you so annoyingly motivated, don't worry. Just blame Simon Sinek. Now you might be thinking, that's great. But what if I don't know my why yet? That's okay. That's completely okay. Finding your why isn't a one time event, it's a journey. It's about celebrating every moment in your life. And the beautiful thing is, your why doesn't need to be perfect or profound. It just needs to be real, authentic, and yours. So I leave you with this. Don't just climb the ladder. Make sure it's leaning against the right wall. Don't just find your voice. Use it to inspire others. And don't just live with purpose. Because when you find your why, you just don't wake up. You rise. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. It was a very motivational speech, to be very honest. It was a really fun speech also. Now, we'll move on with our second prepared speaker for today, Toastmaster Kalyani. And she's being evaluated by Toastmaster Aarti. So I'll just handshake myself for this. So today, Toastmaster Kalyani is giving her level 3, project 1. Her pathway is presentation mastery, and in this particular pathway, the project is to deliver a persuasive speech. So the purpose of the project, as described in the form, is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Persuasive speech is basically, as the name suggests, it's to persuade the audience into some idea or something like that, kind of like a motivational speech. So I wish Toastmaster Kalyani all the very best. Back to the general evaluator. Thank you. Toastmaster Kalyani, architect, Toastmaster Kalyani.
Hello, Toastmasters. Am I audible? Okay. Respected Toastmasters and guests, I would like you all to meet a very special guest for today's meeting. No, I'm not talking about the guest present in today's meeting. I would like you all to meet Miss Ellie. Well, there's a specific reason why I showed her right now. She represents one of us. She wants to make a big change in her life by waking up early and starting her day a bit more peaceful than in a rush. So, what did she do? Before going to bed, she set up an alarm at 5 a.m. in the morning and she went to bed. Well, for those who all are very curious as to what happened next, she did not wake up. The alarm kept blaring on at 5 a.m. and went on and on till her charge drained off. She kept on hitting the snooze button various times. She ended up waking at 10 a.m. with this one thought in her head: I'll start tomorrow. Well, to all the Toastmasters and guests present here, I have a question for all of you. How many of you have said this dialogue in your brain or in your head or your inner voice? I'll start tomorrow, but never did. I want honest answers here. See a few hands, but okay, fine. The main reason as to why this happens is not because we can't change, but because the brain hates discomfort. Well, can we change this? Should we blame ourselves? You'll find out by the end of the speech. The human brain prefers comfort over discomfort for various reasons, because the brain is wired for predictability and safety. And that is why whenever we try to change, the brain recognizes it as a potential threat or a discomfort, and it automatically goes to the fight or flight response. So, for those who do not know what fight or flight response is, it is the brain's way of protecting us when we encounter a change by identifying it as a threat or a discomfort. This was useful in the olden days because this method in which the brain identifies a change, it was used to either confront a threat or to avoid it. So this is why we prefer to not change and stick on to our harmful ongoing routines and prefer not to change because we feel that it is some sort of threat to us. Even though we know waking up at 5 a.m. or doing a little bit more exercise would change us a lot, we don't prefer to do it. This is the main reason why. So to move on, I have a question to all of you. And again, I want you all to be very honest with this. Have you ever stopped yourself from doing something you loved a lot because you feel that you will fail miserably and you'll get judged by random people around you. See, few hands. I'll also raise my hand because I have to be honest with myself. Well, this is one of the reasons why people don't change because we fear failure and judgment. I don't blame you. I've also done it many times because I hate being judged. So, at times, social conditioning even makes us stop changing, us from stop changing. At times, social conditioning teaches us to avoid risk, even at the risk of growth. It means that we have been trained through repeated messages, such as fear failure, don't stand out of the crowd, go with the flow, don't be different from others. Well, this constant thought process that we have had from our childhood doesn't allow us to change because society always rewards people who who would prefer safety and conformity than people who are bold and creative. We have all been through this. So, even at times when we do a group project, we don't let others do it. Why? Because we feel we are perfectionists, we can't make anybody else do it. So, we don't let anybody else do it and we take in the entire job of finishing a huge project. Well, perfectionism is also one major reason why people can't change. And finally, I would like to talk about doom scrolling. We all do it. We all can't say no that we have never done it. Even while studying for exams, we have done it a lot. This is because the brain craves really quick rewards, really quick rewards. And whenever we start to do an important task, we can't continue it because we feel scrolling is better than sitting and studying or sitting and completing a project. Well, the reason is that the dopamine loop prefers short term gains than long term gains. So, you might be wondering why is Toastmaster Kalyani about going on and on about the same thing as to why this happens. But are there any ways that we can escape this matrix? Well, yes, I have a few tips. So, to start with awareness, you have to recognize resistance as a signal and not a stop sign. Resistance sign signal includes fear of failure, overwhelming thoughts, and past trauma. And to start micro habits, why can't we start small? By habit stacking, attaching a micro habit to a current habit. That is, after brushing my teeth, before going to bed, I'll read a page of the book. Yes, that is easy. Next, I would like to talk about celebrating immediately for small wins, which would take approximately 2 to 4 weeks for us to start new habits and for us to appreciate ourselves. It really doesn't matter if we appreciate our small wins. And finally, why not a bit of self compassion? How about we all try practicing the RAIN method now onwards? That is RAIN, uh, which expands to recognizing, allowing, investigating, and nurturing our thoughts and feelings. So, why not we all start small from today? Because if we are not the architect of our routines by building tomorrow with today's choices, who else would do it for us? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyani, for that very reflective speech. Definitely, some of them will be elaborated in the evaluation session, so don't worry about that. Now we will move on to the second part of today's meeting, and which is a very interesting thing which is chosen by our table topics master for today. The theme is absurd arguments. So I call upon our table topics master, Toastmaster Shreya, who's doing the role for the very first time, to conduct the table topic session.
Thank you, Aarti, for mentioning that this is my first time, so that whatever flaws I make might be excused by the general evaluator. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Shreya Sajeev. Welcome to the courtroom of chaos, the battlefield of bizarre beliefs, and the arena where logic takes a coffee break because today's table topic theme is absurd arguments. Every time we talk about things that make sense, things that are available, things that always reflects our thoughts, things that we always think about, things that happen. But why don't we put our brains today into things that doesn't happen but could be argued? Have you ever passionately debated why pineapple belongs on pizza or argued that cats are actually aliens sent to study us? What about defending the idea that socks disappear in the dryer because they enter a sock dimension? Well, today is your time to shine. In this session, you will be presented with arguments so ridiculous, so illogical, so outrageously nonsensical that you'll absolutely have to defend with a straight face. Because here in Toastmasters, we don't just practice impromptu speaking, we prepare for the day someone might ask us to explain why toothpaste should be classified as a smoothie. Joking. So get ready to argue like your reputation depends on it. Speak with confidence, gesture like you mean it, and more importantly, have fun about being absolutely ridiculous because that's our theme. So for today's table topics, I have like 12 card sheets, which is obviously from number 1 to number 12. So basically, whoever I call, that speaker must choose a number from 1 to 12. So your fate depends on that number. But here's the twist, or maybe here's the plot. Like you'll be having a word behind each of these number. For example, number 1, I would not reveal what the word is, but you'll be having a word behind each number card, and there will be a challenge hidden. So you will have to tell your speech, or rather recite it with the challenge. Now, see, if you don't take up the challenge, I wouldn't kill you. But please, let's make the session fun. So please take up the challenge. So, my brave hearts, who would go on first for this? I see people switching off their video. That is not going to change anything because I have 12 cards and everybody is going to have a chance. So, I think the president would like to start first.
All right, Toastmasters.
Okay. Ishita, can you choose a number from 1 to 12?
5.
5. Okay. Okay. Number 5. This is number 5, and the word behind it is emojis. Okay, great. I would be giving you a question on that. So, your word is emojis. Would you like to listen to the challenge first or the table topic first?
The challenge.
Okay, then I'll tell you the table topic. So, so the table topic is. Wait, can you give me a second? Okay. Should emojis be allowed in formal writing? So that is your table topic. Should I repeat?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. The challenge is you will have to use a Gen Z term in your speech. So this is your challenge. So go on, Ishita. Good luck.
First of all, I'm extremely sorry to my sister who is standing in front of me before I start the speech because she may or may not be Gen Z, Gen Alpha. So I might be using quite a few terms that she may or may not want me to use. So yes, should emojis be used in formal writing? First of all, people have to understand that formal writing is not fun. Okay, it is very dreary, very boring, and it is such an incredulous task because half of the times there are a lot of actual words that you want to use, but you can't because it is formal writing. You have to be respectful. But emojis, I think it is one of the greatest creations that mankind has managed to achieve because it manages to fit so many emotions into just one small smiley or a random bubble or something. And using that in a formal writing would just do a world of wonders. Imagine putting in a leave letter to your boss and it just has the jazz hands, the smiley face emoji. Hey boss, I'm gonna be taking 1 month for leave. So give me the vacation. Thank you. That would be amazing, right? Imagine if you had to, a lot of parents send forwards in WhatsApp. So and so has died, this thing has died. What if you had to send a formal letter to, let's say, I don't know, the office which records the registrations for death and birth, you would be like, X has died, skull face emoji. That pretty much just encapsulate our entire emotions into just one very formal letter, except for the fact that it is Boston because it now has emojis. So yes, I approve of using emojis in formal writing. I encourage everyone to please use emojis because it is a very lit thing to do. Back to the table topics, master.
Wow, that was hilarious. Uh, Congratulations, President, for giving a wild start. Okay, let's call upon the next speaker. Anybody ready to dare yourself to pick up a number from 1 to 12, apart from 5? Okay, I see there's no one again, so I call upon Toastmaster Aarti.
Yes.
Aarti, can you pick up a number from 1 to 12 except 5?
I'll choose my lucky number 1.
1, great. Okay, so this is card 1, and the word behind it is Monday. So, um, so this will be a question. What if Mondays become the last day of the week? I repeat, what if Mondays become the last day of the week? So your challenge is you have to make up a new word and define it. Now, this word shouldn't be in the dictionary. You can make up a new word and define it and use it in your speech. Go on, Aarti. Good luck.
Okay. So Monday as the last day of the week. So basically, it would mean that Sunday is the no, not Sunday. Sorry, Tuesday would be the first day of the week, right? Okay. So I will start. I will introduce a very new word, which is let's say crib cycle. Which is actually the thing is the name is very obvious. It's not in a dictionary. It is something that have I have merged using 2 words, which is keep on cribbing in a very cyclic mode, like once you start cribbing and then something like that. So if Monday was the last day of the week, it would still be a crib cycle because I'll be honest, my days are a crib cycle, whatever it is. We are cribbing about something or the other. And even if it's a Sunday, what I always think, even it's a holiday, we will think that, okay, fine, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll probably do something. But the truth is, we won't do anything. We'll just probably doom scroll and not know how the day is going. So, so yeah, that is it. If Monday is the last day of the week, it will still be a crib cycle, which it has always been so far. So, yeah, back to you, Table Topics Master.
Awesome. I give an applause to Aarti for adding up a new word to the dictionary, the crib cycle. Moving on, who would like to volunteer up next? Maybe I'll call out the guests. Abhinav, would you like to volunteer?
Yeah, I'll go with the
Okay.
number 3.
3, okay. 1 second. Okay, 3, the word for card sheet 3 is movie. So here's your question. Should talking in movie theaters be punished by law? Okay, I repeat the question. Should talking in movie theaters be punished by law? So your challenge, Abhinav, is quote a movie line in your speech. It could be from any wood, Collywood, Bollywood, Mollywood, anything. But quote a movie line in your speech. Go on, Abhinav. Good luck.
Uh, well, I personally think it's incredulous to basically ask this question because it's very obvious that we do need to express ourselves about as to what the movie is about. And we do have emotions. We are humans, so we do need to speak. We do need to talk to other people. Otherwise, I personally think life is very empty. And there's this Hindi movie with the title that goes with Zindagi Na Milega Dobara, which says that life never comes the second time. So please do talk in your movies. I personally would not mind it if a person next to me talks also. So that's it.
Great, Abhinav, but I still am against it because you can show your emotions anytime, but not during the movie. But okay, I do respect your feelings. Next, anybody would like to volunteer? No, again. So I would like to call up Toastmaster Sudhamsh.
Hello.
Hi, Sudhamsh. Can you choose a number from 1 to 12, except 3, 1, and 5?
Let's go with 8.
8, okay. Okay, this is the card sheet for 8, and the word behind it is sing or dance. Okay, so your question is, would you rather always have to sing instead of talk or dance instead of walk everywhere? I repeat, would you rather always have to sing instead of talk or dance instead of walk everywhere? So your challenge is use sarcasm in your speech. For example, success is fantastic could be changed into failure is fantastic. Don't worry, we would understand it's sarcasm. So go on, Sudham. Good luck.
Thank you for the wonderful question. It's incredulous to finally. I didn't even expect someone would craft such a question. Well, dancing is such a wonderful job that we can do it 24 by 7. Whenever someone sleeps and dances, you know how beautiful it looks when someone dances in mid of the night just on the bed without any song singing themselves. So would I would I dance instead of walk? I would definitely say yes. Because when I was a kid, I had a habit of sleepwalking. And now, imagine if someone sleep dances. And singing instead of talking is such a wonderful job. But I don't think people would enjoy it. Let I always wanted people around me to suffer as beautifully and as wonderfully possible. So, to make them suffer in the best way, I chose to sing instead of dance because they cannot escape if they close their eyes. Thank you.
I was just imagining Sudham dancing during the interview. Uh, okay, moving on. Let's call out guest Advait.
Yes, number 7.
7, okay. Okay, great. Did I skip number 7? Give me a minute. Yeah, I have 7. Yeah. So this is the card sheet for 7, and the word is time travel. This is your word. So your question is, would time travel be more trouble than it's worth? I repeat, would time travel be more trouble than it's worth? So your challenge here is you are supposed to tell a personal story in your speech. So I believe this is the most safest challenge. So go on, Advait. Good luck.
Okay. Would time travel be more than their worth? Okay. So the personal story I'm going to talk about is about my friend. So in 10th standard, I had a friend named Siddharth. We were best friends. Uh, we we were the kind of friends that would get each other without even saying anything. So he was the friend that I used to have. So we were really close. We used to go to the same class. But as life progressed, I moved on to another school in my 11th standard. So instead of saying a proper goodbye, a proper farewell, and telling him what he meant to me and how he changed my life, I couldn't do that. The time wouldn't let me. So for me, time travel is worth more. Time travel is better than it's worth. So I would say, yeah. But in the end, I think even though I couldn't say farewell to him, even though I couldn't say a proper goodbye to him, he still knew I think he is my best friend and probably would be for a long amount of time. So I wouldn't change it because without the choices that we make, we are nothing now. The choices that we make until the life now makes the person who they are. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. So
Great, but I thought people would say that you time travel to yell at your math teacher. But okay, Advait, for giving this emotional stuff to us. Now I call upon Toastmaster Aditya.
I expected it.
Yeah, you can choose a number from 1 to 12.
I feel like we need a double digit number, so I'll go 10.
10. Okay, great. So this is the card sheet for 10, and your word is chair. And
Cheers.
chair.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So your question is, what if chairs refuse to be sat on? I repeat, what if chairs refuse to be sat on? And your challenge is quite simple. You'll have to stand up and talk because chairs are refused to be sat on, right? So I challenge you to stand up and talk. Go on, Aditya. Good luck.
Well, everyone, I am now up. And you know what? I'm going to sit back down because I wasn't sitting on a chair, I was on a bed. You see, chairs aren't the only thing in this world that can be sat on. There are plenty of other options. I don't know why we keep troubling these chairs. Like, look over there. There's a stool. There's a stool right there. The poor, it is waiting to be used. It's just in the corner of my room. I don't use it. it. The most anyone has ever used that stool is to keep a plate on it. And I don't think that's fair. When we can keep our legs on a stool, when we can use every other object the way we want it to, why must we trouble this chair? This poor chair. It's been sat on all its life. It's been deformed. There's probably an imprint of someone in there. There are so many other options. Sofas, beds. Why do you have to sit up straight? Sit upside down. Strap in. That's just how it is. You know how astronauts sleep, don't you? They literally strap themselves to their bed because they don't have gravity. Forget sitting. Go to space. Go enjoy zero gravity. Why should you sit in the first place? No tension on the back, no gravity. Enjoy yourselves in life. Do you know sitting kills you faster than any disease could? It induces 15% extra heart disease. It even makes you sleep worse during the day. And they recommend that you stand up for 10 minutes for every 2 hours, which could also be 5 minutes for every hour. But I don't know why they phrased it that way. But the reason is sitting makes you sedentary. And I don't think that's a good lifestyle. So I would encourage you all to stop troubling these poor chairs. Find zero gravity if you have to. Find a bed if you have to. Sit on the floor if you have to. The earth exists. There is a ground beneath you. Dhartima exists. Use earth. Stop putting your feet. Be kind and sit down. It's better for your health also. Trust me. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Great. Now that Aditya has listed all of the health benefits, next time we're having a meeting offline, we're not giving him a chair. Rather, he'll bring a bed or a cot and then defend for sitting. Okay. Moving on, we'll call upon the timer. Rishi, would you like to? You're forced
Yeah,
to, basically. So
yeah,
can you
okay, fine.
choose? Yeah, can you choose a number from 1 to 12?
12.
12. Uh, just a minute. Okay. So this is the card sheet for 12, and
Okay.
it says banana. Your word is banana. So your question is, if you were a banana, what would be your life motto? I repeat, if you were a banana, what would be your life motto? Your challenge is add a catcher phrase, meaning whenever you say banana, you're supposed to add a catcher phrase like O or oo or Forget the R counter, they wouldn't be counting your R's or O's this time, but you have to add a catcher phrase. That will be your challenge. Go on, Rishi, good luck.
Okay, so what would my life be if I was a banana? First, it would be incredulous to think that I am a banana with the conscious of life. So I'm basically being born. And actually, I would say that I'm one of the most useful things in the world because before, when I'm a vegetable, I can be used to as a vegetable, I can be used as a fruit. Even my leaf is being used. So I'm very useful to people. And that's why my life is being threatened. People want to use me. So they basically kill me in every form of me. And I think my life motto would be survive somehow, but I would still rot away, so I don't know what to do. And if I were a banana, uh, uh, I don't know what to do. I'll try to survive somehow. Maybe I, I honestly don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I'll finish up.
Just like your motto, Rishi, you survived. But I like the way how he used banana the most least number of times because he did not want to use the catcher phrase. Moving on to Toastmaster Kalyani, would you like to volunteer? Oh, she disappeared, basically. Okay, let's give her some time to join. Kalyani, are you there?
Yeah, Toastmaster Shreya, I'm facing net issues. Don't worry, I wasn't escaping you.
Yeah. Okay. Choose an. Okay, you only have five numbers to choose to: 6, 2, 11, 9, and 4.
I'll choose 6.
6. Okay. Um. Okay. Your. This is the card sheet for 6, and your word is pet. Okay. So your table topic would be: would you rather have a pet dinosaur or a pet dragon? I repeat. Would you rather have a pet dinosaur or a pet dragon? Your challenge is use an audience member's name. Leave the president alone. Let's not give her more trouble, but use an audience member's name in your speech somewhere. Good luck, Kalyani.
Okay, so this is very hard. I thought if I didn't have the challenge, my plan was completely different. But as I'm supposed to use an audience member's name, I'll take our VP's name, Toastmaster Aarti. So, as I'm one of her deputies and the other deputies Aditya, we are supposed to ask people to either poll on time or do roles. So, instead of burning them to ashes, I would rather go buy a dinosaur, go to their doorstep and make the dinosaur do the poll on time, vote on time, do give their. Sometimes people have to send the agendas or let it be if we are giving a speech for the guests. If we are giving a speech, we are supposed to send our evaluation form on time. People don't do that on time. So to remind that, I will go with my dragon, roar at their doorstep. It's so fun. I like to torment people at times. I'm not a sadist, but having a dinosaur seems so much fun. I would bully people to vote instead of me sending a message on WhatsApp. Hey, Toastmaster so and so, I am Toastmaster Kalyani. Can you please, with that praying emoji, vote fast as possible. Instead of that, I can just go to the doorstep, ask the dinosaur to roar, get your phone, vote now. That's easier. No begging, no pleasing required. So yeah, I would prefer a dragon to help Toastmaster Aarti finish her job fast. Not that I enjoy it, but yeah, back to the table topics master.
Great, Kalyani. I'd like how you assign all the work that has to be done by you to your pet dragon. She basically appointed a robot dragon, not a pet dragon, to be honest. Moving on, I call upon Toastmaster Ishita.
Yes. I would
Yeah,
like to choose number two.
two. Okay. Uh, okay. This is the card sheet for two, and your word is nap.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So your table topic would be: should napping be considered an Olympic sport? I repeat, should napping be considered Olympic sport? I see Aditya nodding his head, but unfortunately the topic is to Ishita. So your challenge is use a palindrome. I repeat, your challenge is to use a palindrome. Go on, Ishita. Good luck.
Yeah, so I would say, first of all, if a lecture is as boring as somebody just yapping about something which we are truly unaware of or we are not interested of, then definitely napping would be an Olympic sport because more than half of the class manages to participate into it, unlike any of the other activities which are told in the class. And if asked about the Sundays or about the holidays, then yeah, definitely many people do like to indulge into it for, I mean, like a many hours, like 7 hours, 8 hours, wherein a nap is supposed to be quite short, which can help you to recharge you to do the other activities. But few people do believe in uh, resting for more hours, and I think so, rather than giving them the guilt of not studying or not doing being creative and just napping, it would be quite helpful if we would tell them it's an Olympic sport and you can rather be awarded for it. Back to you, David.
Great, Ishita. But why didn't you point out on Amrita's national sport, which is also napping when teachers, lecturers take class? Moving on, we have three more cards. So we have Pranav here. Pranav, would you like to? Pranav, my mentor, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to?
I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to
You're yeah,
let
but
you.
you're forced to. Yeah, you have three numbers: 11, 4, and 9.
I'm at office. I'm not supposed
Oh, so okay.
to
Okay.
hear this.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Then, since we have time, I would like people to volunteer because we have three more cards and there are interesting questions there. Would anybody like to volunteer? Okay, Kalyani. Okay, it shows between 11, 4, and 9. 4.
Four?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Uh, okay, this is the card sheet for four, and your word is chocolate. So, your question is it better to live in a world without internet or without chocolate? I would repeat, is it better to live in a world without internet or without chocolate? Now, the challenge is pretty interesting. Speak like a news reporter. I repeat, speak like a news reporter. Good luck, Kalyani.
So, um, how do I start? So, good evening, everybody. So, for today's news, as we are going to face internet outage soon due to the upcoming solar storms. Am I audible? Am I audible? There's net issues. Okay. So, due to the upcoming solar storms predicted by our scientists, we are going to face an internet outage. But why worry? We have chocolates. Chocolates, as in, we have robotic chocolates. The table topic master did not allocate any sort of chocolate. We have robotic chocolates which can be eaten if it does not listen. So, my dear audience, you shall not worry. I will post a number soon on a number will appear soon on the bottom of the screen to dial so you can buy your own chocolate robots. And yes, how would we Blinkit and Zomato food? Needn't worry, chocolates will be falling from the sky at a periodic interval. So, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it for today's news. I hand over back to the table topic master, Shreya.
Hilarious, hilarious. I would like Kalyani to personally text me the number so that I could get the robotic chocolates as soon as possible. Would anybody else like to volunteer? Just two cards. Two. Yeah. Okay. Go on, Aditya. A number between 11 and I mean, sorry, 11 or 9. Choose anyone.
9 this time. Because it'll feel like I'm counting down 10, 9.
Okay. Okay. So your word is this is a card sheet for 9, and your word is pause. So your question is: would you rather have a rewind or pause button for life? I repeat, would you rather have a rewind or pause button for life? Now, your challenge here is you're supposed to add a foreign phrase. For example, Zdravstvuyji, which in Russian means hi. So, you're supposed to add some foreign phrase in your speech. Go on, Aditya.
Now, on this delightful evening, I would like to bring you this incredulous topic is that we have a quite laissez-faire attitude to the flow of time. There's this quite je ne sais pas that we have, that whenever things happen as they're supposed to, we miss things. We either wish we could stay there forever or relive it again. And that's quite the conundrum I've been posed, which is, do you want to rewind time or do you want to pause it? Now, there's a few caveats I'd like to add. I'm going to assume that I can pause time with other people because there is something so special about just being in the moment. Imagine raindrops frozen in front of you. Imagine walking through them. Imagine seeing a sunset last forever. Imagine those moments in life where you see someone smile and you never want to stop looking at their face. And yet, it would feel like it was almost robbing them of a chance to express it fully. That's why we want the rewind button too, don't we? We want the entire experience. Is that once you feel something that good, you want to feel it again. You want to watch a movie again for the first time, hug a friend again for the first time, go out again for the first time, experience snow for the first time. I know we live in a tropical country, but that's something I wanted to do. Your favorite song once again. And it becomes this ever whirling storm of what do you pick? Because you want both. You really, really do. Personally, I couldn't make that choice because I would be sacrificing something for the other. If I had to, and I mean really had to, I'm a fan of paintings. So I would probably pause. I would pick a pause button because there's something so special about capturing a moment that means the entire world. They say, right, a picture speaks 1,000 words. That's all you'll ever need. And I feel like that would be my answer, but I leave the rest to you. Responde, s'il vous plaît. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
I was waiting for you to use the foreign language, but apart from that, your speech was very touching. The phrases that you used where you pause were actually very touching. Uh, just one more card. Anybody would like to volunteer? The last card. Okay. Uh, the president. Uh, did you?
Very sorry to interrupt, but this is actually on behalf of your beloved mentor. So your mentor has requested for the table topics master herself to choose the topic. So please do the
Am I supposed to talk for that?
sure. You can pick the last topic. Go for it.
Okay, I only have one card left. This is cheating, but okay. I don't get to choose a number, but okay. It says smartphone, and the table topic is what if my smartphone responds to my selfies? So this is my topic, and my challenge is I'll have to personify the smartphone. I'll have to talk as the smartphone. So um, I will have a word with the mentor later. Uh, but moving on, uh, I am a selfie person because I have a feeling that I don't look good when it comes to candid photos or when people take pictures of me. So I am satisfied completely with the selfies. But since I have to follow my challenge, I am the smartphone. I, as Shriya's mobile phone, is fed up of the amount of selfies that she takes every day. She takes selfie of her drinking coffee. She takes selfie of her playing with the dog. She takes selfie of the dog licking her. She takes selfie of her mom scolding her. She takes selfie of the series that she watches. She even takes selfie of the Toastmasters meeting she attends every week. Now, this is a problem for me because the amount of storage left in in me is very less because I have many other things. Because she has a reminder app which has to remind her about her friends' birthdays, and she also not just has her selfies, but she also has her friends' selfies, her friends' WhatsApp. All her friends' WhatsApp selfies, which is very difficult for me to handle. So, me as Shriya's smartphone is tired. I would like if Shriya wants to exchange her phones with any of these members here. And this might sound incredulous, but um, uh, I am really tired, and I would have the word with the mentor later regarding this because I was waiting for this table topic to be given to somebody else, but I got it. I mean, that's life. So thank you. Concluding the table topic session. Thank you to all our brave speakers who dared to dive headfirst in the pool of nonsense and swam like Olympians. Remember, the next time someone challenges you to explain why Mondays should be banned or why penguins are undercover spies, you will be ready. With that, I now return control of the meeting back to our general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for that laughter riot of a session that you had conducted just now. All of us had enjoyed the topics very well. Now we'll move on to the final part of today's meeting, which is the evaluations. So we had two prepared speeches by Toastmaster Ishita and Toastmaster Kalyani. So first, I'll call upon Toastmaster Ishita's individual evaluator, Toastmaster Aditya, to deliver his evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arati. I am now reminded I have a job besides giving table topics. So, first of all, Toastmaster Ishita, beautiful title. I have absolute respect for it. Find Your Why is so to the point. I like the fact that you didn't cut any corners with it, but it still sounds like a complete title. The way you started with a quote, which is something a lot of people can pick up on. Starting with a quote is very good for a speech, which is climbing up the ladder of the wrong wall and then realizing it once you reach the top of the ladder. And then the fact that you brought in Simon Sinek, if for the audience over here, any quoted material you in a Toastmaster speech usually has to be mentioned. So the fact that she mentioned the inspiration for it, first of all, fulfills that rule, plus gives us a contact to where she got this inspiration from. Where does it mean to find your why? And the deliberation between what, how, and why, the way you would introduce yourself. Bringing up Apple was actually a really good example because their marketing is all around belief. They don't say we make smartphones. They don't say, oh, we make the best smartphones. They this passes this much value. No, they say we think different. And that belief connects with people. And it really works because human beings, as you stated, work on belief. We connect with belief. And going through life without a why, the way you said it, it's trying to build IKEA furniture. It's very difficult. All the instructions are in Swedish, and you don't know what to do. And I like that analogy because a lot of us have seen that used everywhere. So I like that you brought it in, sort of like a pop culture reference. And the fact that you stated the scientific evidence that if you are clear about your life's purpose, you sort of live 15% longer, alluding to the fact that if you have a reason to live, you will. And that subtly plays into this idea of life was meant for purpose rather than purpose is meant for life. Sort of drawing a bidirectional between them. And I really like that sort of subtle messaging. A few improvements I might recommend was with your personal story, the way you brought up Toastmasters, especially. Because I remember the time where you were the VPM and you brought me in with that story. I feel like you could have elaborated a bit. You had the time to. You said, yes, I came to Toastmasters for what? Public speaking. And how would I do it? By practicing speeches. But then why? Because the people became family. I feel like if you had just added a bit more context, like the day off of the incident that happened for you to feel that, I feel like that would have helped a lot. And your vocal variety was good. and your eye contact was decent. Because it's an online meeting, I can't really judge you on that. However, a few things would be you could have paused a bit better. Like each line when you were saying could have hit with a bit more gravitas. You skipped over a couple lines over there. And I know this is online, but you should always check if your camera covers your whole face and maybe a bit of your hands. Because we could only see like the top part of your face. And I saw how expressive you were being, and I would have really loved to see you express in full with the gestures you were surely using. So next time, just check that the camera covers your whole frame of reference. Besides that, I like the fact that you use a circular ending. The fact that you declare that why is a journey, not a destination. The fact that every why requires a heck yes. These are subtle pebbles you drop to lead us to a destination, almost like Hansel and Gretel. I like the fact that you charted out a journey and still gave us your perspective on it. But I also feel you had the opportunity to expand on it, the opportunity to show us why your journey also matters, your perspective on things. I feel like you've elaborated a bit on that. And also, you asked this one question, which is, what's the point? And I like that you circle back to it. You're like, I hope you understand now what the point is. But at the same time, I wish you had gone a bit more in depth with that. What's the point? What is really the point of life? Finding your why. And then figuring out what to do with that. Why that question comes up over and over again. And I get it was in your speech, but if you had drawn a narrative through it, I feel like that would have conveyed it much better. Your transitions could have been better. And overall, the content was really, really good. I have no complaints at all. Just figure out a way to piece it together so it feels like one continuous train rather than pieces scattered a bit. Apart from that, congratulations. You've delivered a fabulous speech. I pass it back to a general value.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. Now we'll move on to Toastmaster Kalyani's individual evaluation, which is by Toastmaster Arti. So, handshake to myself. Okay. So, Toastmaster Kalyani's project was to deliver a persuasive speech. Now, everybody would know what is a persuasive speech. It is basically just delivering an idea in a motivational way or something like that. And Toastmaster Kalyani did that. She had given a speech mainly focused on procrastination. I liked how Toastmaster Kalyani did not mention the word procrastination, but then her speech actually meant that it is to overcome procrastination, perfectionism, etc. So that is a very good element in her speech. She started her speech with, a prop, which is, of course, a very cute soft toy, which we had seen in the beginning of her speech. And she had given a story. That story sounds relatable to everyone. And the thing about props is that it generally sets the tone for a meeting, and it actually brings in the attention of the audience. And following that story, she had started a question, which is again a very relatable question. So her speech overall had a very relatable way of writing, and she actually constructed it in a manner that we had a lot of relatability. We were listening to her speech, and by the end, she told the problems, and after that, she had spoken on how we can overcome it. And that is something which she had delivered really well in her speech, and that actually successfully accomplishes the project objectives in her particular evaluation. So good job on that, Toastmaster Kalyani. However, a few things which I feel that Toastmaster Kalyani could have improved. Firstly, I think the content spreading of her speech. Because the thing is, whenever you're writing a speech, your content should fit to the 5 to 7 minute criteria. And I had seen that, I think the red card was shown in the end, and that was a little thing that a speaker would be stressed, because once the speaker sees the red card, they generally want to wrap up their speech. So what I would suggest is that I think her content was a lot, and her tips part was a little short. So I would advise Toastmaster Kalyani to balance out that content. And another thing is that in the middle of her speech, she was a little blank. Maybe she would have forgotten something or something like that. Whenever we are speaking, it's very normal for us to forget something. But what we should do is that if we are forgetting something, then we should be able to cover it up more. Maybe it could be something like, speaking, something like speaking a lot without knowing, something like that. But the thing is, whenever you forget something, it's only you who would know that you have forgotten something. The audience would not know. So try to cover up on the pauses or the fillers when you forget something. Besides that, it was a very persuasive speech, I would say. It fulfilled the project objectives very well. However, a better way to spread out your content and also to, be more, to also, how to say, okay, to also fill out the pauses even more would make your speech even better. So, congratulations, Toastmaster Kalyani, on finishing your L3P1. Back to the general evaluator. Now, we have now the evaluations have been concluded. Now we'll move on with the tag team report. So first, I'll call upon our timer for the day, Toastmaster Rishi, to deliver his report.
Greetings, Toastmasters and guests. I am Rishi and I'm here to deliver the timer's report. So today for the prepared speech session, Toastmaster Ishita spoke for 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Toastmaster Kalyani spoke for 7 minutes and 50 seconds. In the individual evaluation session, Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Toastmaster Aarti spoke for 3 minutes and 9 seconds. In the table topic session, Toastmaster Ishita spoke for 1 minute and 50 seconds. Toastmaster Aarti spoke for 1 minute 23 seconds. Guest Abhinav spoke for 53 seconds. Toastmaster Sudhamsh spoke for 1 minute and 31 seconds. Guest Advait spoke for 1 minute and 32 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 1 minute and 54 seconds. Toastmaster Rishi spoke for 55 seconds. Toastmaster Kalyani spoke for 1 minute and 39 seconds. Toastmaster Ishita spoke for 1 minute and 6 seconds. Toastmaster Kalyani spoke for 56 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. And finally, Toastmaster Shreya spoke for 1 minute and 35 seconds. That concludes my report and back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishi. Now I call upon our counter for the day, Toastmaster Sudhamsh, to deliver his report.
I really liked my table topics question. So I'm gonna sing instead of say. If the world is ending, this is my report for you. Alright. So I see people suffering. Let me get back to my normal stuff. Guest advice. You used 4 hours, 2 source, and you repeated yourself twice. Toastmaster Ishita, you have used 1 hour and you repeated yourself once. Toastmaster Ishita, the prepared speaker, you didn't give me any chance to find any flaw in your speech. Really well done. Toastmaster Aarti, 10 hours, 2 repetitions, and 1 okay. Toastmaster Kalyani, 3 hours, 2 sorries, and 1 ants. You repeated yourself twice. Toastmaster Shreya, 12 hours, 1 like, 1 soap. Guest Abhinav, 4 hours and 1 ant. Toastmaster Aditya, I initially wrote good, but in your final report, you gave 1 hour, 1 and 1 like. Toastmaster Rishi, you have 3 hours and 1 soap. Before I conclude my report, I'd like to emphasize on this one thing where people, when you're speaking, instead of using A, you're using R, and sometimes that's being misconveyed. For example, this is a phone. This is a phone. So even when you're speaking something which is grammatically correct, it is being conveyed in a wrong way. So please work on this. And this is common for 8 out of 11 speakers who spoke today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhamsh, for that report. Now I call upon our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Ishita, to deliver her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. You all don't have to worry. I will not be carrying forward Toastmaster Sudham's legacy by singing. So we'll jump directly into the grammarian's report. First off, for the word of the day, that is incredible. We had 5 people use the word of the day. Thank you to all of you who have managed to use the word. And they are Toastmaster Shreya, guest Abhinav, Toastmaster Sudhamsh, Toastmaster Rishi, and Toastmaster Aditya. So kudos to all of you. Feel free to collect your treat from the Vice President Education, that is Toastmaster Aarti. Now, moving on to the good usages of grammar. Without a why, life is like IKEA furniture. I think that was a good comparison. Finding your why isn't a one time event. Good sentence. Brain hates discomfort, a good personification of the human brain. And the description of the table topics segment, I think that was provided by the table topics master in the beginning. That was well, quite descriptive. So, good job on that as well. And then I think Toastmaster Aarti mentioned a new word. She created a new word, right? Crib cycle. And initially, I thought that was the Crib cycle, which is something I had in my 11th grade textbook. So thank you for giving me a trauma flashback. I understand that it is Crib cycle, but regardless of that, congrats on creating a new word, I guess. Also, I encourage you all to stop troubling those poor chairs. I never thought I would end up hearing someone sympathize with chairs, but again, good use of personification. People want to use me, so they kill me, which is what Toastmaster Rishi used to defend his banana. I'm not sure what to say of that, but again, good personification. And I'm pretty sure that the tool, right, the literary tool personification was most used in the meeting because I heard people personifying chairs and phones and bananas. So good job on that. Now, moving on to the improvements for today's meeting. Improving public speaking could be changed to improve public speaking. It better fits the tense of that section of your speech. And 5 a.m. in the morning, you could just have it as 5 a.m. because it's kind of redundant. You can't really say 5 p.m. in the morning, right? 5 a.m. would just be chill. And the choices that we make in the life until now, you could rephrase that to the choices that we have made in our life so far. It just sounds grammatically better. And that is all for the grammarian's report. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. Now, one more thing, I would like to make this very clear. The VPE is owed money from the president. So, if you want anything, please go to the president. I will consider that as full if you guys can do that. Okay, coming to my report. The meeting started at 4:53. We were just 3 minutes late, but it's fine. We did manage to start the meeting in a fairly better timing. Next up, we have the Sergeant at Arms had started the meeting, and then President had introduced the guests who were there. So good job on that. And then, of course, the tag team had introduced their roles, and they had also ensured that their reports were concise, and they also performed their duties very well. So, good job, tag team. And then we had two prepared speeches by Toastmaster Ishita and Toastmaster Kalyani, which were very informative, motivating, and still all of us actually enjoyed their speeches very well. So good job to the prepared speakers, and congratulations on finishing your respective projects. The table topics session. Oh my God. Because whenever we are actually asked to speak with a constraint, it's actually good, but at the same time, it's very challenging. So, good job, Toastmaster Shreya, because it's your first time as a table topics master, but it didn't seem like that because the session was very well run. However, one small feedback would be that whenever you are of course, you had 13 questions, but it's not necessary that you always utilize the 13 questions because that's actually true. We are in an online meeting and we are not bound by the time limit. But the thing is that sometimes we have to stick to the time limit. If 20 minutes are given, we should finish the session in 20 minutes. Doesn't matter if the questions are fulfilled or not. It's better if we try to wrap it up for the time that's given. Apart from that, it was a very fun session and all the audience thoroughly enjoyed it very well. So good job on that. And then the evaluation reports were also pretty concise. A few things that could be improved in the future meetings. Number one, I think we had a bunch of time disqualifications. So I would strongly urge all the members to, even if it's online, yes, but still time is a very important factor whenever we are speaking, whether it's any speech or evaluation or any reports. It's better if we stick to the time limit. So do ensure that we stick to it. And then another thing is that whatever it is, if we are given a time frame for the session, whatever it is, like 20 minutes for a session or 5 minutes for a session, it's better if we utilize the 5 minutes only and do not overshoot because we might be having our schedule which we are busy with. Apart from that, it was a very fun meeting, and I'm hoping to attend more meetings like this. So, good job, everyone. Back now, I pass on control to our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Rishika.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. All right. And with that, we should be having a voting form sent in the group chat. That is Yes, it is dropped by the Sergeant at Arms. So please do take a moment to vote for your favorite prepared speaker, for your favorite table topic speaker, or your role player for today's meeting. And on that note, I think it was a very fun session. I think I speak for all of you when I say I had fun. And congrats to Toastmaster Ishita and Toastmaster Kalyani on successfully wrapping up their project speeches and wonderful table topic session as well. So, Toastmaster Shreya, for your first time, you put in quite a lot of effort with the number cards and whatnot. And I think it was a session that managed to bring out a mixture of emotions in all the members and guests. For a majority of the time, I saw Toastmaster Sudhamsh and Toastmaster Aditya just flailing their arms about. So, I think that was a pretty good session. So, a very well done session. Good job on that. And while you all are voting, please do pay attention. We do have a couple of announcements. So, first up, and this would be the most important announcement, please do vote in the attendance poll. The VP has brought to our attention that recently we've been having a dip in the attendance and the poll attendance, that is. So, basically, every week, a couple of days before the meeting, we will be having an attendance poll release in the WhatsApp group chat. This is basically to kind of roughly get an idea of how many members will be attending so we can prepare for the meeting. We can know whether to prepone, postpone, basically to have the meeting or not. So, yes, please do take a moment. It's totally fine if you don't attend. Just ensure that you either vote yes or no, or maybe so you can change your mind later on. But please do vote in the attendance poll. Apart from that, we have unfortunately been having quite a lot of agenda dropouts. So, if you would at any time like to pick up a role sometime, maybe next week or in the future, please do let our VP or her deputies know in advance so that they can maybe, have you as a backup in case someone drops. So, yes, please do vote in the agenda poll as well. Finally, the district conference, that is the annual district conference, Discover 2025, was it recently concluded, and Toastmaster Veda and I attended it. Pretty fun session. We did manage to bring home a bunch of awards, and more importantly, we managed to miss out on the golden gavel by 6 points, but we did bring home the silver gavel. So congratulations, ATC, on achieving the silver gavel. A very well done job for the executive committee of both the terms and to all the members. Pretty sure we would not have been able to do it without all of you. So, yes, congratulations to everyone. And while we are waiting on the results, how was the meeting? Any of the guests, would you like to give feedback? Shall we hear from guest Abhinav?
Yeah, I personally enjoyed this, to be honest, and I don't have any feedbacks as such. I was just planning on having like loads of fun, and yes, it happened. That's it.
All right, thank you for joining. I do hope you'll join our future sessions as well. Guest Advait, how about you?
Yes, good evening. Yes, the session was very engaging and a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. I mean it. And I love the table topics tonight. Instead of the table topics, I love the sarcasm behind the table topics master. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Right, thank you for joining Guest Advait, Table Topics Master. Please note. All right, and on that note, we do have our results. So, first up, for the best prepared speaker, we have Toastmaster Ishita. Congratulations. For the best table topic speaker, we have Toastmaster Aditya. Congratulations to you as well. For the best role player, we have our table topics master, that is Toastmaster Shreya. Congratulations. And for the best individual evaluator, it is a tie between Toastmaster Aarti and Toastmaster Aditya. Congratulations. And finally, for the best tag role player, that is the auxiliary role player, it goes to our singing our counter of the day, Toastmaster Sudhamsh. Congratulations to all the winners. And on that note, let's quickly take a photograph before we turn the meeting. All right, cameras on, everybody. Sudham, should you be able to help me out with the photo? I don't know if you're able to as well. I think we can go ahead with the photographs. All right. With that, we officially adjourn meeting 347. Thank you all for joining, and I shall see you all on June 8th, where we might as well have a joint meeting with Trichy Toastmasters Club, which our VP will be dropping more information about shortly. So feel free to stay back and network or to leave the meeting. Thank you, everyone.